Welcome back to Knowledge is Kings, guys. I'm Kings, and today I have a really simple project for you that takes less than an hour from start to finish. We're going to be building a 3-tier planter with 2x4s and 2-gallon plastic buckets. This is perfect if you don't have a place to plant your garden or if you would like a more modern raised flower bed. As this is something my wife wanted me to build for a fruit and vegetable garden, I include a sort of trellis on the back for her strawberries and tomatoes, which have vines. Let's get to it. So I lost the first part where I cut all the pieces to length, so here I'm just putting 45-degree cuts on the ends of the legs and side supports to make the project feel less boxy. On the footage that I lost, I was using a cut list I put together that shows me how to cut each 2x4 without having any more waste than I must. Now I will have a plan available on my website within a week of posting this video that will have all those cut list sheets that my plans normally have. I'll leave a link in the description to my website's plan page. Once I have all the pieces, I lay out the 3 main boxes that will hold the buckets. I line them all up as they will all be the same. I'm using GRK multi-purpose 3/8" screws. I'll leave a link in the description to all the material I use for this project except for the 2x4s, which you could pick up from any construction big box store. Once the boxes are together, I need to attach legs to the front of each box. I align the side and the top of the legs up with the box and put 1 screw in. Then I use my largest speed square to make sure the leg is square with the box and add another 3 screws. I measure from the bottom of the leg to the bottom of the box to make sure I have that same measurement on the next leg that I install. The 2 legs should be the same length, but I want to make sure the distance from the bottom is the same in case I didn't cut them perfectly. Then I just repeat this process for the other 2 boxes. The last box with the longest front legs also gets legs on the back, and I attach them in the same way. When I'm able to stand the back section up, I move everything to a different table as the current one isn't very flat anymore. I bring one section at a time, fastening the 2 pieces together, making sure the bottom of the feet to box measurements are the same for each section. But this time you can help me screw it together. Kind of short. Good, you stuck down. You can see one leg is off of the table at the moment, but as long as I make the measurements from the bottom of the feet to the bottom of the box the same on the front and back of each box, it will fix itself in the end. Once I had the sections screwed together, I figured I had better test the fit of the buckets before it was too late, even though it was already too late as everything was already cut and put together. But it was okay as they all fit nicely. I used food grade buckets because they look the best with no colors and no writing on them. For some stability, I added leg supports on each side. This is where I could push the leg down tight to the table once the other legs were screwed in, so that leg that was popping up for some reason was no longer an issue. Then, for the final stability support, I added an angled piece just tracing each side of the legs on the support and cutting it on my traced line. Once it was screwed on, the framing portion was finished. Before I took it to my house, I drilled holes in all the buckets for drainage. I did 5 3/8-inch holes in each one. Once I got it home, I put all the buckets in, and to make sure the soil doesn't leak out over time, I added a washcloth to the bottom of each bucket. Once those were all in, I dumped the soil that my wife got into the buckets. The soil is sort of packed in, so I tried to break it up as it comes out of the bag. Now that that is done, it's time to add the netting for the vines to climb up. I'm using a pneumatic stapler to put this netting on because I'm lazy, but I'll leave a link in the description of some small U-shaped nails that will work well for this, so you would then just need a hammer to put them in. I trim the netting, leaving long strands of the netting so I can fold them back and staple them for extra strength. The final thing is planting some flowers. I just gently pull them out of their pots and roughly shove them in the dirt. And if they don't come out of their pots, then I just bury them in the dirt with their pots still on. And if you couldn't tell, that was a joke. Do not just plant them in their pots. These are fake plants designed to make my project look a little more pretty for pictures. These plants will be removed once my wife moves this where she wants it, and we'll plant our own seeds. Here you can see what I was talking about with the extra length of netting that I folded over and stapled again. I probably overdid it with the staples, but they are short and I wanted to make sure the netting didn't fall off. Well, that's all I had for today's video. Be sure to leave a like as it really helps out the channel. Check out the description in case I add any extra information down there, and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on future videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh, I like that.